This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening. We begin in North Battleford, where RCMP are investigating a two-vehicle collision involving a police car this afternoon. Police say it happened at a controlled intersection of Carlton Trail and Territorial Drive. A westbound vehicle on Carlton Trail collided with the northbound police vehicle, which was traveling with all emergency equipment activated in response to an earlier call. Both drivers sustained minor injuries and there was significant damage to the vehicles. The investigation continues. Lloydminster RCMP are investigating several incidents of purses being taken from shopping carts. Police say they responded to two separate calls Wednesday where purses had been stolen from carts in large open parking lots with lots of traffic. Both victims were unloading items into their vehicles at the time. RCMP are reminding people to not leave wallets and purses unattended. Pharmacies in Alberta are helping physicians and improving the overall health systems through the Healthcare Closer to Home program. As Anna Stanislaw explains, this Canada-wide initiative enhances access to care, especially in rural communities.
So take a breath in.
This is the first year we've been able to provide the flu vaccination, so we've been able to help take the workload off of public health and make it a little more accessible for those that are working during the hours of the clinics as well.
Pharmacist Jocelyne Grise says healthcare closer to home improves the lives of residents, especially in a rural community like Lloydminster, where patients are finding it difficult to get into their doctor's offices.
For instance, if you have a patient that's requiring blood pressure medication, you would check their blood pressure, ask them a few questions to ensure that it's still safe for them to continue on this medication, and then we would provide them a supply. So we would essentially write the prescription.
There's a skill set in our pharmacists that, in some ways in the past has been somewhat untapped. These are skilled professionals. Their knowledge of, pharmacology, but not just pharmacology, medicine, physiology is considerable.
MLA for Vermilion Lloydminster Richard Starkey chairs the Rural Healthcare Review Panel and says these expanded services not only helps provide frontline care, but addresses the lack of medical staff in most rural areas.
I've talked to pharmacists all around the province on this, and they're eager to partner, be a full partner within the overall delivery strategy. And I know as part of the Rural Healthcare Review, we're going to be sitting down with the RXA in January and talking to them as far as where they see their role.
But Grise wants to remind patients Lloydminster pharmacists on the Alberta side do not diagnose minor ailments and should not forget their doctors.
We've made it clear that you still need to have that relationship with your physician, and this is just kind of a temporary fix to kind of get you through till you see your physician again. So
their ability to serve patients can be very effectively leveraged by using pharmacists, dietitians, physiotherapists. There's a lot of examples throughout Canada and really around the world of these team-based facilities that then there's support for each other.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
You may have been wondering what that loud bang was in downtown Lloydminster around 12:30 this afternoon. People flocked to 51st Avenue to see the culprit lying in the snow. The bird, which appears to be a crow or a raven, hit the power line across the atrium center, causing the power to go out in the building for about an hour. One local family is celebrating Christmas a little differently this year. Their gift giving will come from the kitchen, not a box store chain. Brett Morton explains.
Like it's nice to get presents, but it's not.
The Howards are discussing their idea for Christmas dinner. However, it will not be for their family. They will be cooking food and delivering toys to the less fortunate. The idea has been passed down through generations.
Growing up, my mom was always very generous, and she always gave to people, and we never done it before, so I thought it'd be a good idea too.
My mother, actually, ever since we were little, she always told us we should always share. And she's always feeding people and giving things to the people that need it. And she always says, well, I got plenty, even though we grew up poor. And she's always sharing stuff, and that's what she instilled in us, and that's what we do.
To the Howards, the most important thing about Christmas is that no one is left out.
I think it's important for people not to be forgotten at Christmas time. It's turned out to be more of a commercial Christmas for everybody nowadays. As we were growing up, it was all about the family, and some people don't have families, so we figured we could give back to them.
Helping the less fortunate is something the family does whenever they can.
And all year round, me and my daughter, we see somebody who's in need, we always help them out, or I give money to the Salvation Army all the time. I got sponsored kids in Vietnam and Africa. I try to give when I can. I'm not rich, but I like to share.
Yeah, it's a good feeling because we've always had one growing up, and I know some people ain't fortunate enough to have one, and just the gift of giving, it's the best thing.
Brett Morton, Newcap News.